Listen, kids, don't talk to strangers. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl King Nugget. Okay guys, so for today's video, we have a story time. It's actually a very serious topic. Looking back on this, I don't know how I'm still alive. Like, all the things that be happening to me, like 2 story times, and they're kind of short, so I figured I'd just put it all in one video. But it's about the time that I almost got kidnapped twice, and I'm not exaggerating. I want to welcome any new viewers to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to leave a comment down in the comment section, that's fine as well. I don't mind. And subscribe. I think it's that way, but you know the camera's like reversed, so it might be over here. But look down in that little box and it says subscribe in red and hit that button. I've always been like into this does have to do with why I'm telling the story today, but I've always been into like true crime and all of that stuff, and I've just recently gotten into podcasts. So I've been listening to a lot of murder podcasts, which is probably not good. There's some crazy people out here. There's probably a crazy person watching my video right now. Like, be safe, people, please. If you are into true crime or anything like that, I will leave the link to some of my favorite podcasts in the description box. It's not just murder podcasts, it's like missing people and all of that. And so when I'm listening to these podcasts, it makes me look back on my life and I'm like, I probably have come into contact with a murderer or somebody who wanted to kidnap me. More than likely, you have too. I'm not trying to scare you, but it's the honest truth, guys. Now, the first story I'm going to tell, this took place in Japan. I used to live in Japan for like 4 years. My parents are military. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that on my channel. I'm just going to stop saying that and y'all can ask me why I lived in Japan. No. Really? It was 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and 10th grade. Get it together. So 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. To start the story off, if you live on a military base, they have this thing called the PX or the exchange or whatever. The one in Japan, there's a base called Kadena. So the exchange at Kadena is like a mall, because most exchanges are like 1 story, whatever. That one was 2 stories. It had like food court and it was like a mall basically. So after school, I would be able to walk from school to there or I'll be able to walk from school to the exchange or go to the library and wait for my parents to pick me up. This day in particular, it had to be close to Mother's Day because I remember, whatever. Anyway, it had to be close to Mother's Day because my dad was buying flowers for my mom, and I just remember it was almost Mother's Day or something like that, or her birthday. Anyway, I don't know the time frame. I'm not good with times. I just know that this craziness happened. But I got out of school and I asked my dad if I could go to the exchange, and he picked me up there because usually me and my friends would hang out there. But this day in particular, my friend, we're gonna call her Julia. Okay, so me and my friend Julia, I wanted to go over to her house for some reason. Like, I was under the impression that we were gonna go to her house and then go to the PX after that. Like, she was just gonna stop and like drop her stuff off because she didn't live far. Like, she lived across the street from the school, and then the PX was like, might be like a 5-minute walk from there. So I was under the impression that she was gonna go drop her stuff off and then we were gonna go to the PX, right? So school gets out and we walk into her house. Everything's good and dandy, it's great. So I'm at her house and she's taking longer than I expected to do whatever she was doing. I don't know if we were talking. I don't know. It just took a long time. So I'm like, my dad is very strict, and so he started to call me. I was like, oh, my ass is grass. He kept calling and I wouldn't pick up, which don't ever do that to your parents. But I wouldn't pick up because I knew I wasn't where I was supposed to be. So he called me. I finally picked up.
I'm outside the exchange, come outside.
And I was like, huh? You're where?
Because I'm not there. Like, I didn't tell him that, but I was like, listen. Wasn't there. So I was like, the line is long. I'll be out in a second. Or I told him like the line was long, or I'm still getting what I need to get, and I'll be out in a second. Knowing darn well that I wasn't even at the exchange. I was like 10 minutes, 5 minutes away, or whatever. So my friend, I was like, look, I gotta go before my dad murders me, whatever. So I'll see you at school. It was Friday or something. So I was like, I'll see you on Monday. So I'm walking from her house. I have to walk through this grass field. It's like a baseball field or whatever. I had to walk through there, and I'm not a big person. Like, I'm little. So I was a little person. Like, I was a little younger person, like in high school, like the beginning of high school and middle school. Like, I was small. I was a kid. So I'm walking and I get over the baseball field. And I get to the sidewalk, and I could see the exchange. It's like literally I gotta cross the street and then go. So I'm looking back, like I'm walking on the sidewalk. Sidewalk's right here. The road is right here. So I'm walking. I'm like speed walking. Like if someone see me, they know I was like trying to get somewhere quick, right? So I'm walking quick. I keep looking back to make sure there's no cars coming, because I wasn't about to cross on the crosswalk that was like all the way down there. I'm going to cross right here next to the exchange so I could get to where I need to get to. And there was a car pulling up. I kept looking back. So this dude, it was a white dude, and he had these thick, like, I promise you, it's like the stereotypical like kidnapper. It was a white dude, and I don't know, it was like I know it was a car, it wasn't a truck. And he had these thick black glasses, like with these thick frames and everything. And he was like, he pulled up next to me and he was like, can I take you somewhere? And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I was like, no, I'm fine or whatever. And like, I'm still walking. So his car is like creeping next to me, like, and I was like, no, I'm good. And he was like, are you sure I could take you anywhere you want to go? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. And like, I didn't know what else to say, but like, I'm fine. Cause like, I'm not gonna get in the car with you, even though I was like, however old I was or whatever. I wasn't no little kid. I know not to talk to strangers or whatever, or get into random people's cars. So, I walk off like really fast. He's still creeping or whatever. Pull up next to me again. Are you sure I can't take you anywhere? I'll take you wherever you want to go. I'm like, no, bruh. Bro, I'm fine. So I run across the street. Like, at that point, I didn't care. I could have got hit by a car. Like, I ran across the street, and, he like sped off somewhere. But that's so creepy. Like, on a military base, I know bad things happen everywhere, but like, it's just, I was like, bruh, I'm a little kid. What other intentions could you have had than to do something, what's that word? Nefarious or whatever, something bad. Like, there's no way you're just picking up a little kid to take them like somewhere. That's some creep village stuff. Anyway, I ran across the street. He drove off or whatever. Get to my dad. I get to my dad's car or whatever. He knew I wasn't inside, and I got chumped, and he was like, you better be where I tell you to be, or whatever he said. And I got in trouble. But to this day, I look back and I'm like, yo, like, what if I got in the car with this dude? Where would I be? I wouldn't be here. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be here right now. He would have did something to me, and my parents would never see me again. So moral of the story is, kids, all little kids watching my videos, whatever, be where you say you're gonna be, and don't take rides from strangers. And when your parents call, pick up the phone. Okay, guys? Alright, guys, the second story that I have was more recently, is from when I lived in Georgia. So, again, on a military base, these soldiers is creeps. Some of these soldiers is creep. Not all of them, but there be some creepy ones. I worked at Subway on Fort Benning. I worked at Subway on Fort Benning, which is a military base. Everybody knows that or whatever. I used to work at the Subway, and I would work late at night. Like, the Subway closed at like 9 or something. So it would be dark by the time I got off. So I don't remember what time of year it was or whatever, or nothing like that. Whatever. So I just remember it had to be like, it wasn't closing time. It had to be like 5. And it was like the afternoon time. I got to work at 2, and then we got off at 9. And so I was, if you ever worked at Subway, you've been to Subway, the meatballs, it's in a little heat well or whatever, it's heated by water. So it was broken. So the meatballs weren't heated. Like, they were cooked, but they weren't like staying hot or whatever. So this dude comes in, orders a meatball sub. Now, we got tips at Subway, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put on a smile, and I'm gonna give you the best customer service that I could possibly give you. And I'm gonna be like, excuse me, sir, our heat well is down, so the meatballs are cold. Would you like your meatballs toasted? But I was giving him extra good customer service because, you know, I wanted a tip or whatever. Now, I wasn't working alone. I was working with a guy. We're gonna call him Daniel. Whatever, I just made that up. So I was working with Daniel. I had my name tag on that day, but this is why I stopped wearing my name tag, even though we're supposed to. So I'm working, dude Daniel's on the register, and I'm giving this guy the best customer service I ever give in my life. And I'm like, you know, vegetables, what kind of sauce you want? You want me to cut it for you, sir? Like, do you want it wrapped separate? Like, I'm giving him OG, like, customer, like, I'm just great. Just the greatest. I'm the GOAT, right? Now, the description of this guy, he could be my father. Like he could be my dad. And he was bald, and he was a white guy. And so we get to the end of the line. I'm like, you want cookies? Like, you get 3 for whatever. Daniel goes to ring him up or whatever. And, you know, he tips us. And I, like, grabbed the tip jar because Daniel's ringing him out or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know why I did that, because that's not good customer service to do that in front of the customer. But I was, like, counting out the tips or separating it with separating the change. Or I think I was trying to get, like, the pennies and stuff and put it in the register and take a nickel. Like, I was trying to, like, do that. And because he was opening the register, I'm counting money, and all I hear the dude say is, "What is her name?" And he's like, "Hey, you know her name?" And I'm just standing there like, I don't remember if I told him my name or not. I don't remember. I think I did, because he asked, and I was like, my name's Katrina. He was like, oh, okay. And so Daniel rings him up and, like, walks to the back or whatever. I'm still counting the money. Dude's still standing there. I'm like, I done gave you the best customer service. You got your sandwich, you got your change, but you still standing here for. I finished counting out the change, put the tip jar back where it go, whatever. So he's still standing there, and he asked me what time we close. And my dumb ass, this is why I know I would be dead. My dumb ass said, we close at 8, but, you know, we gotta clean and everything, so we probably won't get out of here to 8:39. Katrina, you will be kidnapped somewhere in a freezer, like, telling the kidnapper all the information he need. He was like, okay, cool, whatever. He was like, you want to hang out sometime? Like, can I have your number? Whatever. I thought I was being punked. I was like, bruh, you's my daddy. Like, you could be my dad. And this was before I joined the army, so I was 19, and this man's like 47 or 45. Like, I was like, what? And I was like, no, I'm good or whatever. And he asked me again, and I was like, I didn't have a boyfriend, but I was like, I have a boyfriend. I don't think he would appreciate me giving out my number to people or whatever. He's like, okay, that's cool, whatever, right? So he leaves. I thought he left. Daniel, this guy just tried to get my number or whatever, and we're like joking or whatever. So Daniel goes to the back. Bro's out there smoking weed in the freezer. I don't have proof, but I'm pretty sure he was, or in his car or something. I was in the store by myself, and the store is in a rec center, so it's not just a store by itself. So it's in a recreational center for the soldiers to come. They can watch movies, play pool, and all that stuff. So he leaves out to go to the back or whatever he was doing, and dude comes back in. To the dude that asked me for my number comes back in, but he goes to the receptionist desk, and there's this lady that works there. Her name's Miss Anna, and he was talking to her, and so I was just minding my business. He come back to the counter, and I'm in the back now because we didn't have no customers. I'm in the back, but you could still see everything. So he gets my attention. Is there something I could do for you? Is there something wrong with your sandwich or whatever I said? He was like, no, I just wanted to, ask you again if you wanted to hang out, or, we can exchange numbers. I can meet you after work. I think you're very beautiful. And I was like, I know I'm very beautiful. Thank you. But I still don't want to meet you. I still don't want to meet you after work, old man. Like, 47 is not old, but it's old to me at 19. No, sir, I'm good. Like, and Daniel's gone, so dude could, the rec center was popping, so there's people. He wanna just took me and ran off, but Daniel was gone, so I was in there by myself. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like, I don't want. He's like, then he hits me with the,
I'm a ranger.
bruh, and what that got to do with me? What does that got to do with me? I'm a ranger, and he was like, I bet your boyfriend's not a ranger. I bet he can't give you the things that I can give you. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. I'm gonna need you to leave right now. Like, you hit me with the I'm a ranger, like that was supposed to make me feel some type of way. Like I was just gonna drop my panties or like ride off into the sunset with this man. Like, granted, this was before I joined the army, so I didn't know what a ranger is. And a ranger is they're not regular soldiers, but you ain't the president of the United States. Not that that will make me, go off with you, but like, and he was like, this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm like, I didn't want you to ask me the last 3 times you asked me, but okay. So he leave again. I leave out the store, like I could still see the store because it's inside the rec center. So I leave out from behind the counter. I go up to the reception desk and I was like, hey, Miss Anna, like, you see this guy? He keep coming back in here and trying to talk to me. And she's like, he's married. Why is he trying to talk to me then? Like, he's trying to take me. Miss Anna knew what kind of car this man drive, right? So she see his car sitting outside. She was like, he's married or whatever. He has a wife and they're about to have a kid or some craziness, where I was like, sir, does your wife know you're trying to steal little black girls? Like, she see his car sitting out there, right? Now, it wouldn't be weird, but that was like, it was like 6 by the time he came back in twice or whatever. Now, Daniel come back inside, so we're, getting ready to clean up. It goes 6 to 7, 7 to 8, and he's still sitting out there. He is still sitting out there. Like, I'm like, bruh, this man gonna try to take me. I mean, Daniel was there, but like he could easily like knock Daniel out and run off with me. And Miss Anna ain't gonna do nothing because she's an old lady. Basically, Miss Anna got some of the soldiers that were already in the rec center to go out and get his license plate number. And she was like, do it. Don't be suspicious. Just go out there, walk behind his car and try and get it or whatever. Because she was going to call the MPs, which is the military police, to come up there and talk to him or see, whatever. But the soldiers went out there and were probably like, hey, sir, can we get your license plate? Well, whatever. But they were being obvious as crap. Like, and he got like spooked and drove off or whatever. So they didn't get the license plate. Miss Anna still had the MPs come up there and sit outside the outside the rec center until we got in our cars and left or whatever. So I was like, this man really was waiting outside for me to come outside. And Lord only knows what would have happened, because it was only me and Daniel. Like, the rec center closed and then they closed and left, and we're still closing Subway. So it's just me and Daniel. Lord only knows what would have happened if nobody noticed him sitting out there or whatever. Like, he didn't come back till one day he came back in the store, and I guess he didn't think I was working that day. It was like 4 or 5 weeks, or it was a while, to where like he came in and I didn't recognize him because it'd been so long or whatever. But he said, can I get a meatball sub? And I looked up. I don't know why it made me look up. I looked up at him and I was like, that's the guy. It's like, that's the guy that tried to take me. That's the guy that was being a creep or whatever. And like, he knew that I knew who he was. So he like averted eye contact and he was like, let me get this, whatever on my sandwich. And he like hightailed it out of there. And like, he didn't wait outside this time, but he was good. Those are the 2 times I almost got kidnapped. Now, the moral of the story, guys, is always be vigilant of your surroundings. Always be where you say you're gonna be. Pick up the phone when people call you. And don't give out what time you leaving. Like, don't give out what time the store closed and what time you leaving to a creep. Like, and don't tell them your name. I just wanted to share that story with you because I've been on my little true crime kick lately. So it brought up the memories of that. Now, again, Lord only knows what happened, and I definitely didn't tell my parents this because they would have like locked me up in my room and never let me out again. If you guys stuck around to the end of the video, thank you so much. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up so I know I'm doing good and you like, you know, the content that I'm putting out. If you like my channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, any questions, leave them in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.